Hey guys, happy Monday. Happy Monday. I hope everybody is doing well. Happy Monday. Do me a favor as you come on, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what city and state you are watching from. Hey Andrew, I see you are number one as always. Hey Deanna, let me know where you're watching from, Deanna. Hey Alicia, as you guys are coming in, please let me know where you are watching from. I want to know where you guys are from. Hey Cece. For any of you that are joining for the first time, let me just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Kendra, aka Miss K. I'm a medical assistant instructor. I have been in this field for it'll be 20 years in December, and I'm an author. I've written 4 books. I'm a CPR first aid instructor, and I'm also a YouTuber. And I do a bunch of other stuff too, but I'm not going to get into that on this video. But so that's a little bit about me. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. So one of the things that I've been doing this month, and actually next month as well, and this is something I want to do actually going forward, is bring other medical assistant professionals on my channel just to talk about different topics, guys. One of the things I have primarily done on this channel has been helping people with their certifications, and I want to do more than that. I don't want to just do certification work. I want to help you guys beyond school. When you're in the office, whether you're trying to start a business or just be successful inside the office, I want to help you guys there as well. So that's part of the reason why I'm bringing other professionals on. Some of them are in business, some of them are just medical assistants that are just doing it in the office, having leadership positions, starting businesses, opening up their own schools. And every time I bring someone on, the goal is to inspire you all. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed the interviews I've done so far. I had last week I had Cheyenne on, so make sure you guys check that out if you need some pointers on resumes, because she was dropping some very good gems on pointers, and I'm sorry, on resumes, and she was bringing up things that I had never heard in my 20 years of being in this field. So make sure you guys check that out. So guys, I am going to bring a special guest on. Let me just tell y'all, I'm so excited. I told her when she logged in, I said, you're going to probably have to tell me to get myself together, calm down, because I am so excited about having this young lady on. Before I even start introducing her, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on the screen, and just do me a favor and welcome her by giving some hand clapping emojis. Just give her some hand clapping emojis in the chat, guys. Thank you, guys. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, there you go. Hi, I got G with the gems on here today, guys. Do me a favor and put some hand clapping emojis in the chat. Thank you, Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
Thank
I
you.
saw New Orleans was in the building. I said, okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, Val. Okay, Val.
Wow. Hi, Cece.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to have G with the Gems on because, first of all, I saw her on another YouTube channel and on Monique's, and I love Monique. Let me just tell you, I started following her on. Actually, we were friends on Facebook first, and I remember like back during the pandemic, she posted that I think she had just reached like 5,000 subscribers, and I started following her then, and now she's at like almost 1 million. So I've literally watched her grow, and like she gives so much good information, and I love her personality too.
Yes, yes.
So
My
I
baby.
so I saw you on her channel, and I was just so inspired by your story, and I went to search you on YouTube, and I started following you. And then when I watched your video and I saw you were a medical assistant, I said, "Oh no, I got to get her on the channel." So I commented, and you literally commented back. I was like, she ain't gonna see this. And you literally commented back, and you were like, sure. So here she is, guys. Thank you all for giving her a round of applause. And I'm just gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I got some questions for you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, hey, everybody. I'm so excited. She's talking about her being geeked. Like, I'm so geeked. I'm so excited. I thank y'all so much. I am Ganisha. Everybody knows me as G with the Gems. I am your finance best friend. So my life literally changed a few years ago when I decided to just put everything to the side and jump on into doing taxes and budgeting and worrying about finances. I grew up in poverty. So I was the product of a 14-year-old mother 15-year-old father. And let's just be honest, if you ask a 14 or 15-year-old to parent right now, like, come on. So they did the best that they could. But
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in poverty, didn't know too much about finances, and I kind
Mm-hmm.
of just had to wing it. I
Mm-hmm.
was a medical assistant for 7 years.
Okay.
And I actually used that medical assistance license to do more. I was always a go-getter. Like, I need to know how I can do more than what I'm doing today. Um, and so that's what I did. I worked. I was the best MA there was. I
I
loved
know
it.
that's right. I know that's
I
right.
loved it. I loved everything about it. The doctor that I was working with, he actually got me licensed as a phlebotomist, and then I became
Okay.
licensed lab tech. And that's how easy it is with MA. That's why when you said that, I was like, yeah, because a lot of people don't know how much potential that license really holds, right? That
Mm-hmm.
certification, I'm sorry, really holds, because it was
Mm-hmm.
able to get me licensed as a phlebotomist and licensed as a lab tech. And I
Mm-hmm.
started, literally the only thing I paid for was medical assistant, but it branched
Wow.
out and it allowed me to do so much more. And just doing that right there, the pandemic is what made me say, okay, yeah, I gotta stop. I don't know why. Like I needed to do more. I started
Yeah.
helping people during the pandemic. Were preparing their information for like business, right? And
Okay.
for me, I'm just learning about this stuff because my husband was the only business owner I knew at the time. And I was just
Okay.
learning about this stuff. But I started researching it, and then I started helping people with credit, and then start budgeting and saving, and the list goes so forth and so on. And you, if you want to know about that much, go over to
Oh,
YouTube. I have a ton of videos explaining that. But tonight, I'm just grateful for Miss Kate, and whatever you have for me, I am here. I'm excited.
listen, I want to know all of it. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. Like I want to, because I want to get into all of it. Like I definitely want to get more of your background, because when you said that you were born in a poverty, I relate to that so much. So I recently did a video on a channel, and I just kind of put it out there because I had never shared my story on a channel. And I just talked about how I was born into drugs. My mother was on drugs actually when she had me. So I was born what they call I was born addicted, going through withdrawals is what they call it. And so I went through, poverty, being hungry, my mother not having food, not having money, and all of that. And so I want to kind of touch on that a little bit, because I know that there's probably some other people watching who
Mhm.
may relate. And I'm glad that they have people like you to see that it doesn't matter where you come from. It's about where you going, right? It's about what you do with what you went through. So I want to talk about a little bit about how, like that, like your childhood, how that motivated you, because you said your parents were teenagers. So I just want to know about how that motivated you as a kid.
Yes, ma'am. So my grandmother raised me, and the difference between um, seeing everybody else doing things with their parents and me kind of yearning for that as a young child, it was different for me, right? Now I did live with my mom for a little while,
Okay.
but then I went to my grandmother, and my mom put me in private school. I can remember this. My mom put me in
Okay.
private school on some type of scholarship or something, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
like for low income families. So
Okay.
my friends was doing things that I wanted to do. Like they were doing so many things that I wanted to do. When it was time for me to go to college, I ended up getting pregnant. So I had a scholarship to college, but I got pregnant. So I
Okay.
had to go to a community college. But as a young adult, I always knew that baby, I couldn't do what I couldn't give him the life that I had. That was my whole thing. I could not give my child the life that I had. I wanted to be able to do the things that I saw my friends' parents do, buying
Mm-hmm.
them cars and taking them on trips. I took myself on my first trip. And I know it's
Yeah.
not all about materialistic things, but it's
Mm-hmm.
about the things that we desire and we can get. You can do
Yeah.
this. I don't care what background you come from. I just said over on my video today, your current situation is not your final destination. So
Yeah.
you just got to look and see what you want to do. You have to evaluate your situation and you have to know, I want better. And anybody can do it. Anybody. It does not have a respect of a person.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. So just because we were
Mm-hmm.
born the way that we were born, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we value it more, right? I
Yes.
feel like it was,
Yes.
I got a little bit more loving for this lifestyle that I have brought for myself because I got it
Yeah.
out the mud for
Right.
real. Like, they
Exactly.
were able to say they got it from the mud. No, they didn't. We
Listen.
literally had to teach ourselves every single thing, but we value it more because that's, it wasn't given.
Right.
A lot of people, I don't think that you would value something like just say for instance this cup. Like I love
Hmm.
this cup. Let me tell you, I
Hmm.
love this cup. Anytime
Yes, I
I see
love the
y'all
bling.
listen, so literally, like it won't mean nothing to me. Probably when the Christmas and the fall cups come out, it won't mean nothing because I got it easily now, right? But if I would have worked hard for that cup, then when the
Hmm.
holidays came, I mean, I'm not about to go get another cup. I just was able to get this cup. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yes,
You
yes,
value it more when you get it out the mud. You probably
yes.
value it more when you didn't think you can do it because it was many a days that I didn't think I could do it. Like
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
wanted to give up a lot. I really
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
But
I'm sure.
it was that on the inside of me that said I couldn't allow Raji. My oldest son name is Raji. Raji
Okay.
cannot grow up saying, "Man, I wish I would." Even though sometimes I'd be like, "Lord, I didn't spoil this."
Listen, I get it. I get it. Cause my daughter, she's 18. And you find yourself, you mentioned being spoiled. You find yourself and you don't do it on purpose, but you want to give them everything that you didn't have. Like I remember, and you probably can relate to this. I remember when my daughter was little, it could be stuff that she didn't even ask for, but because it was something that I wanted, I would get it for her, like the dollhouse. She ain't asked me for that dollhouse, but I
Right?
always wanted the dollhouse, the big tall dollhouse with the elevator inside. So I was just getting things for her because it was just things that, I mean, listen, Ganisha, it was times where I got emotional just cooking because I was just happy to be able to give her a meal. Like my daughter has never experienced hunger like I've experienced hunger.
Right.
I remember drinking coffee and tea when we didn't have anything to eat in the house. That was my food, and going to school to eat or going to one of my friends' house. And I get emotional sometimes just cooking because I'm like, I don't have to, my daughter doesn't have to experience that. And
Yeah.
I relate to what you said when you said, I can't, like you thought about your son. And there was times where I had those moments too, because, just to be real, some years back, I was terrible with my finances. I would have my fun first and pay my bills later.
That's
And
it.
I remember I was late for my rent and I was on the brink of losing my place one time. And I remember I sat back and I was like, that's not fair to my daughter. That's
Right.
not fair to her to be out on the street because of a mistake I made. And I got the money. I'm just being frivolous. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so it's amazing how our kids are our motivation.
Yeah.
Like, how
Yeah.
old were you when you had your son? You said you were about to go to college. How old were you?
18. I found out
18.
I was pregnant on my 18th birthday.
Oh, listen, you entered adulthood and mommyhood at the same time.
Oh my God.
So you didn't even get a chance to experience like that. Like that's why I tell my daughter 18, I'm like, just please wait on the babies. Like experience
Yes.
life first. Become
Yes.
an adult.
Yes. I have a bonus kid and I'm getting him ready for college. He's getting ready
Mhm.
to, and I feel like I'm even more excited than him right now because I
Oh,
yearned that, right? Like
yes,
I wanted
yes,
to go live on campus. I
yes.
wanted to hang with my friends. I wanted to do this type of stuff. But when the scholarship, because I played basketball, so when the scholarship
Really?
went away, yep, because I was pregnant, I couldn't get the
Yeah,
scholarship anymore. So when the scholarship went away, then what am I to do?
yeah.
Went to community college, and the first thing I did was jumped in the medical field because that's who they say make the most money. I'm gonna just be honest.
Oh, so that's what I was going to ask you. What made you choose medical assistant?
Yeah. So at first, I wanted to be a nurse,
Okay.
and life
Hmm.
happened. I'm a new
Yeah.
mom. I'm young. I can't
Hmm.
keep up with everything they're telling me to keep up with, and I'm not. I'm gonna be real honest with you. School
Hmm.
was not always my best friend. Sports
Hmm.
was my best friend, but school was not my best friend.
Got you. Okay.
So I did two of the programs, and then I was like, yeah, I don't like anatomy. I'm back out for a little while. So then I took up business management, and I was like, this don't even go together. Like, but I know I have to do something because I have this
Right.
baby, right? And
Right.
so I ended up working at a call center. I completely dropped
Okay.
out of school before my baby made one. Started working at a call center. So life just life, and it went on.
Hmm.
And I got pregnant with baby number two 6 years later.
Okay.
And so now, G, you got to do something because
Yeah.
what's going on?
Right.
And
Right.
I found a program down in Louisiana, in New Orleans, and I went there. It was Gretna Career College. And
Okay.
so I was like, I can do this. This is just like nursing. I could just jump on into it. I don't want to do. I knew I didn't want to do CNA. So I was like, I don't want to do CNA because I don't want to go to the nursing home. So I'll just
Right.
jump into medical assistant. And at the time, the program was 9 months, right?
Okay.
That was really long, but it was
That's
nine
how it
months.
was when I went too.
Yeah. And so I went the whole time pregnant with my youngest son and graduated, and I jumped right on into it. Like I didn't waste no time. They had
Mm-hmm.
career placement programs. I was on the phone
Hmm.
with a lady like, ma'am, see, that's I want to say this because a lot of
Please
people
do.
think that you just get the degree and or get the certification or get the license and it's just
Hmm.
gonna work for itself. No, you have to do the work. You have to. You cannot wait for them to give you a job. You have to do
Yes.
the work. And I was on the phone with the career placement advisor. I'm like, hey, you got something for me yet? You got something for me yet? And she knew me so much. She called me immediately. It was heaven sent. And
Yeah.
she said she had a job for me, a job interview for me with a new doctor in Chalmette, Louisiana.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'm going. I'm gonna kill it. So I went. I was pumped up. I had a good conversation. I've always been a people person. I had a good conversation with the doctor. Got home. I just knew I had it. I was like, I got that job. I know I got that job. Mm-mm. Didn't get the job. And I
Oh.
was kind of bummed out, but I was like, the me that I am, I was like, I'm just about to keep sending my resume out.
Yeah.
I'm about to keep sending
Yes.
it out. I'm new.
Hmm.
And it's hard when you're new. I do know
Yes.
it's hard when you're new, but you
Hmm.
have to be persistent with that thing.
Yes.
And so I just kept sending my resume out, kept sending it out. And the same doctor that interviewed me called me back.
Wow.
And he said, and it was like a month later, and he
Hmm.
said, hey, Ganisha, I got you. I know we interviewed, and I know that I said that I didn't need you at the moment, but I do need you now. Can you come in? My first job was a brand new clinic.
Mm.
Went up in there, and it changed my life forever because
Wow.
he licensed me as a phlebotomist.
Yeah.
Talked to the lab with me. I was working with AccuReference Lab
Mhm.
in his office, working at AccuReference Lab. He got the people to license me, and it just went up from there. And then I left there and went to a fertility clinic, and
Okay.
so I was kind of doing the same thing. I was doing CMA and I was doing lab tech, just
Okay.
hand in hand. And I
I
had to
love
work
it.
that thing. I'm gonna be honest, I did. I loved it. I loved it. But God had better. God
I
knew that my time was up with that. Like it was time for you to move forward and do other things.
You said so many things just now, and I got chills. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all heard that because I get so many comments and emails about people having trouble finding jobs. So like I've tried this, I've done that, but listen, y'all have to stay consistent. You got that no, but then that no just meant just not yet, right? And
Yeah,
God's timing is always perfect. He what they say, he may not come when you want him, but he always on time, right?
always.
And like you said, it end up changing your life. You got certified as a phlebotomist and all of that. And then you went into fertility. What other specialties did you work in, and which one was your favorite?
So fertility was my favorite.
Okay.
I tried podiatry. It
Okay.
didn't work out. I tried to do it as a part-time job. It was
Okay.
just real low key. That was the only thing. Oh,
Gotcha.
and I did pediatrics.
Okay.
Did like pediatrics. I did, but I
Okay.
have a soft spot for babies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to do my sticks and stuff with pediatrics because I always had to call somebody in. Like I would do so good with all the rest of my work, but when it was time to stick a baby, they like G going in the room with a baby. They knew somebody had to come with
Right,
me.
right. I remember those days, especially the newborns that's getting that first one, the 2 month, because they could get them, they get their first shots anywhere from 6 weeks to 2 months. And I know the first time I gave a shot, I literally had a tear fall out my eye. The
Yes.
first time I gave the baby a shot. And then, of course, you got the moms, you got to comfort them because you got some moms that cry too. And then you
Mm-hmm.
got some moms that turn away. And I told this one mom, I said, listen, you gotta look when somebody's there. I know it hurts. I know it's
Yes.
hard, but I said you gotta look when somebody's
Yes.
sticking your baby because you want to just make sure that everything is okay. But I'm with you on that. And so you said fertility was your favorite. What about fertility was your favorite?
So it kind of became real intimate with fertility. Like
Okay.
your patients, my patients became like family, some of
Yeah.
them in so
Okay.
many words,
Yeah.
because you see them so often with fertility. It's on a time basis. All this is done within the 3 to 6 months and then a year. And so
Okay.
you're literally watching these babies start from not having a baby at all, right? My
Oh,
patients not being able to have a baby, some people
yeah.
not able to have a child, some people being told no after so many tries, and some people actually hitting goal and be able to proceed and get their
Yeah.
dream, their child.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of us take so many things for granted, but just to be able to birth our child with no help, that's a blessing.
It really
Because so many
is.
women, and I'm talking about the richest women in the world, deal
Mm-hmm.
with not being able to bear a child, and it hurts,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And a lot of people take that for granted. That's one thing
Yes.
that I noticed a lot of people take for granted because that's something that was given to us. I've heard so many of my patients cry like, this is the only thing that I was brought here on earth to do, and I can't do it. And that's like,
Mhm.
but being able to do that and then being able to see them smile when the doctor do
Yeah.
whatever it is that they do, it's like,
Yes.
oh, and I was the lab tech. So I was the one who actually ran the HCGs, right?
Okay.
I was the first person to know if they, oh, that was, I missed those,
Yes.
I missed that so much about fertility um
Yes.
in IVF because that was dream. That was my dream job. That was. And so I knew if I was leaving that job, I was going to do something great because
Yeah.
I loved it. I drove an hour and 15 minutes to work.
Wow, wow. And you know what? You can tell. I was telling this to I think it was Cheyenne last week that I was talking about. You can tell when somebody has a heart for what they do because you felt for the women. And you know what? You are so right. So I have my daughter and I can't have any more children. And I feel for women who don't have any because I'm like, thank you, God, that I at least have my baby because I cannot imagine. I was 27 when I found out that I wouldn't be able to have any more the natural way. I would have to have in vitro. And
Okay.
then fast forward to 2022, January 2022, I had hysterectomy. And so I really can't have any more now. But I just thank God that I had my baby because
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends and I have a family member who really wants a baby and just, they base you and we know God has the final say. We know
That's right.
but according to doctors, they don't see a way. And
Right.
I feel for them because just that one thing, especially, as little girls, we think about that. We play with our dolls and we
Right.
just we grow up, we grow up looking forward to being a mom. And that's something you never think about as a kid. Like that's the possibility. You just know you're going to grow up and just be a mom one day. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I feel for those women.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
ladies and gentlemen, I do see your questions. We're going to definitely get to the questions at the end, ladies and gentlemen. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them, and we'll definitely answer them at the end. So it's a few things. Okay, so and I told you I'm all over the place. So let me. I don't want to leave nothing out, but I want to it's a few things that I want to talk about. One of the things that I do want to talk about was something that you did share on Monique's about you are a cancer survivor.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I just want to talk about that. I do have a friend that's watching now, and I'm who is also, I don't know if she wants me to say her name, so I'm not going to say her name, but she is watching and she's a cancer survivor as well. So she can definitely relate to your story. So if you could just share that, like how you found out, and then that process of dealing with that.
Yes, ma'am. So this
Mhm.
is my whew. You know, let me just say this before I start. It's like God just chose me to just and a lot of people would have broke under that stress. A lot of people would have it's not easy,
Mhm.
but it's so much worth it. It
Mhm.
is worth it. There's a song that says it's not easy, but it is worth
But it's
it.
worth it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I was in the mirror. I was going out. Now, this was before I became who I am today. I'm
Okay.
really, well, the woman that I am, because I don't want to say like I'm a celebrity or nobody knows.
Right.
The
Right.
woman that God has made me, because,
Right.
it's different when you're in faith and you know of God, but see, when you're walking in faith, that's a difference. And so I believe he brought me through that to begin my journey and walking through faith and helping somebody else. So it was 2017. I was in the
Okay.
mirror getting ready to go out, right? Getting myself together. And I noticed in my throat, it was like a little swole. And so I was
Okay.
like, my throat is a little swole. And my grandmother was living at the time. And I called her up and I said, Mom, I got a knot in my throat, look like something wrong. She like, girl, you better get to the doctor. Listen, now that's what one thing I can say about our older African American women. They would not go to the doctor because she will not go to the doctor, but she made sure we went to the doctor to get checked up and made sure we was
Yes.
okay, right? And so she was like, get to the doctor. So I get to the doctor and they ultrasounded first. So when she ultrasounded, she said it was too big and she wanted to biopsy. About a week later, we went and we got it biopsy. When it
Okay.
came back, it did come back. The left side had cancer cells in it, and they could not determine if the right side did. They would have to do the surgery to determine that. Not sure why he didn't do both sides at the same time, but he took the left side out first.
Okay.
Um, Went back, and what I always tell people is, if you notice something that's abnormal, like if I don't care now if my eyelashes is not growing fast enough, I need to know why, because what's going on top of me putting this stuff on it. But if something looks abnormal, it's not what it used to be, go get it checked, because my thyroid levels always was normal. It always was normal. So the fact that I had this going on with my body and my blood work was reading normal, and they always say that your blood work is the most sufficient, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
mine was reading normal. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
so my TSH levels, my T3 levels, all that was normal.
Did
And I
they
had
do a what is it? CA 125? They didn't do any of that yet.
no,
Okay.
they didn't even get
Okay.
there. She just wanted to immediately remove it.
Gotcha.
Because
Okay.
a lot of people don't know, but the thyroid is the easiest thing if you jump on it first, right?
Okay.
Because all you just take it out. Well, when
Yeah.
they took it out, he didn't take the right side out, and so I had to get the right side removed. So I
Okay.
went back into surgery like 7 or 8 months later. But when I went into surgery, I was scared. I'm gonna be
I'm
honest. I
sure.
was
Yeah,
scared.
I'm
I
sure.
have a praying grandmother. I,
Yeah.
I I was a woman of faith. I wasn't walking in my
Yeah.
faith, but I was a woman of faith. But I was so nervous because they told me that I had the chance of not being able to talk again. And so I was like, I can't talk. I'm not gonna be able to talk again. But I have sons, you know. And I called my mama and I said, Mama, I'm scared now because these people say I might not be able to talk again. She said, Girl, go in that surgery and call me when you get up. And I called, and indeed, I went into surgery. I don't even know how long it took. I feel like I closed my eyes and opened them back up. I was done. But I opened my eyes back up and I told my husband, call my mama. Like, didn't waste no time. Still felt the
Uh-huh.
at the scar. Here's my war wound. I tell everybody, it's my war
Oh,
wound.
oh,
Yes, and I don't want it to go away. I want it to stay there
oh.
because I mean it's okay. It's okay. And one thing I can say is God is in control. So whatever his will is, it's gonna be.
Because look at you talking. Like, that just made me so emotional because I just think about how, like, God has the final say. Like, they said
That's
you
it.
wouldn't be able to talk again. And look at you. And,
That's
like,
it.
what touched me when I saw your interview with Monique, and you said you thought about your sons play sports, and you were like, I gotta be able to yell for my babies. And again, that goes back to our kids. Like, you know what I mean? The love of a mother and what you want to do for your kids. And I want to shout my friend out too, because she said I can. Um, she said it's okay, sis. Yes, I'm here.
All right, edify.
And this is big for her because to my knowledge, I don't think we talked about this publicly. Have we? Let me know if we talked about this publicly, friends. I don't know. Have you talked about this publicly? So that just right there, that's like freeing right there for her, because this is something that we met back in 2016 on Facebook. We were in a group, in a singles group, Christian singles group, and we met each other because we were both writing a book and all of that. And we met like a couple months later, and we've been friends ever since. And she
Amen.
dealt with this 2 years in a row. So it was first on the right. I think I can't remember which one was first, and then it was then it came back the following year on the other side. Okay, she said she did a long time ago publicly. Okay, okay. Well, praise God for your
That's it.
testimony.
That's it.
Ganisha, praise God for your testimony. To my friend France, like, God has the final say at the end of the day. Because look at you, you talking, you screaming. I know you out there screaming for your
Do
voice. I
you
know
hear
you.
me? These people out here in this town know that's one thing they gonna say. That lady gonna Miss G gonna scream. Gonna scream.
Yes, and let me share something else with you too. So one of my other friends, she almost lost her leg, right? She
Mhm.
had blood clots, and the reason why they ended up, she didn't have any circulation in that leg, and the only reason why they did not take her leg was because and I had her on my other channel. I interviewed her over there on my other channel, Thinking Like a Virtuous Woman, and
Oh, I love her.
they were going to take her leg, but because of the blood clot, they said that if they would have moved her, it would have basically moved to her lungs and killed her. And
Oh,
so she always talks about how God blocked it. And she said that one thing that she thought about when she was in that hospital, she said, God, if you save my leg, like she said, every time I think, I will think. So literally, whether she's in pain, no matter what she's going through, like at church, all you see her is she's dancing, she's praising God because, like she said, every time I think, I think. And I know that that very thing that the doctor said you wouldn't be able to do, every time I'm pretty sure you screaming and praising God every time
that's
you get a
it.
chance. The very thing that they said that was going to be taken is the very thing that you're using to praise God with. Just like my friend, I don't care how much pain she and what she going through. Oh, she gonna get up and dance because this
That's
is the
right.
very thing that you saved. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, I
Um,
love it. That's good.
and I do want to mention you are married. So I know you mentioned being a young mom. You got pregnant at 18. You had your two boys, but you're a mom and y'all a big family now. So I'll let you go ahead and share that.
Yes. So I started off, I met my husband in 2012, and I had
Okay.
one child, and I went from one child to 10 kids. So we have 10 kids collectively, y'all. Yes, 10 big old, oh God,
Listen,
something
I
else.
love it. Listen,
Oh,
I
yes.
would. My plan was to have 5 kids. I wasn't going to do 10, but my plan was to have five. I love the fact that you have a big family. Like I love that. How was
Oh,
holidays and stuff?
oh, it's so turn. It's so turn. We have so many different personalities, and it's amazing. It's amazing to watch them grow. We
Yeah.
actually just had our new baby boy, so we have a grandson.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
so we have a
congratulations.
grandson, and he just was born. He was born on the 18th, the day before my birthday,
Okay.
and that's just my baby boy. He is just
Yeah.
amazing. Yes,
Oh,
but just watching this family grow, just watching us grow, and everybody's
yeah.
still learning each other. Everybody's still figuring this thing out, and
I'm sure.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
Like I told my husband, I was like, I just want to get like a 20-bedroom house, and like hell no. He's like, them kids is not coming with me because everybody's grown, and so he's like, once Kanye is done, we are finished.
That's what I was going to ask. How old is the oldest and the youngest?
Yes, so we have a 24 on down, and Kanye is
Okay,
the youngest. He's 11.
gotcha. Okay, gotcha. From 11 to 24. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
my
lot.
husband is well seasoned.
Listen. Okay, I love it. I love it. So, I do want to get into this business. So, one of the things that I talk about on this channel is multiple streams of income because that's one of the things that I'm big on as well. Because I mentioned my other channel, Thinking Like a Virtuous Woman, and one of the things that I do over there, I try to inspire women to think like the woman in Proverbs 31, spiritually, relationally, but also financially.
That's
And
it.
one of the things that we know about her was that she had multiple streams of income, right?
Mhm.
So I know, people, they feel like people that make a lot of money, they feel like they're okay, right?
Mhm.
But I don't care how much money you make, you need multiple streams of income. You got to have something coming in from multiple sources because anything can happen. And then, of course, we know in a pandemic, we saw what happened. So many
Yeah.
people lost their jobs, and I mean guaranteed jobs, because even in the medical field, we are pretty secure, but it was offices closing as well. So there's really nothing that is secure. So all of you guys that are listening right now, whether you are a medical assistant, aspiring to be a medical assistant in corporate America, I don't care what you do, you have to get multiple, you got to have some multiple streams of income coming in. So let's get into this, how you got into because y'all probably saw the title. The title says that she made 6 figures in her business, right? So let's get into your business, how you got into it, and how I want to know all of it because I
The
need to I
good
need to know.
stuff
I'm still trying to hit 6 figures in my business. I'm trying to be like you.
is coming, sis. It's coming. It's coming, sis. So
Thank you. I
yes, the
appreciate it.
good stuff. Well, about 3 years ago, I went to one of
Okay.
my best friends. We were actually on the way to Jamaica. And so
Okay.
she had just opened her tax business up, and she was doing tremendously good. Now,
Okay.
I have been, like I said before, I always help people like with credit, with taxes,
Mhm. Okay.
anything. So I
Yeah.
had been preparing taxes, helping people do self preparation on TurboTax and all the rest of these extra apps, right?
Okay.
And so I kind of was like being real, okay, I don't want to do too many people because, like I said in the beginning, school was not my best friend. I'm gonna just be honest.
Mhm.
And Matt was my favorite sub chick, and I think I had a C. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, yeah, I don't want to play with numbers. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I do not want to
Right.
deal with numbers. That was the biggest thing that I used to say. And so she came to me and I wanted to purchase my home. And I was making a good salary at the time. I was making like $43,000 a year,
Okay. Yeah.
which was okay for somebody, with a license. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I was like, I need to buy me a home. Like, I have to buy us a home. We got
Mhm.
married. We got things that we need to do. And
Yeah.
so he's like, well, let me know. And I'm like, well, these people telling us we need 20,000 down, right?
Mhm.
Because a lot of people tell you, okay, you need a good credit. Yeah. And they tell you, oh, this person is giving this amount back for homes, but they don't tell you the fine print that you need this $10,000 in the savings just for the house itself, and you
Yeah.
need money to go towards closing and all this good stuff.
Yes.
So you have to make sure you have a good nick of money saved up for home buying, right? And so
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I thought I was just gonna be able to go with this $5,000 and it'd be all right, girl. No, ma'am. So she was like, well, gee, have you ever tried to branch out and start your own tax business? And I was like, I'm good with the 10 to 15 people I have. I don't want to branch out and start nothing. Like, I'm okay with this. And so she
Mhm.
was like, all right, friend, I will never forget walking to Jamaica. We was in Jamaica. We was walking
Mhm.
back to the ship. And she said, what if I told you you can make 20,000 in 1 week just off of preparing
Wow.
taxes? She like, you
Wow.
already have it. You already have the spirit. You already have the go-getter mentality. Why don't you try this?
Yeah.
And like so many other people, we've tried so many things. It's like, okay, well, I'll do it, but I don't really like, I don't like commission-based jobs. This is what
Mhm.
I'm saying. I don't like all that. I just want to go to work, make my money, go home, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
she was like, okay, friend. That's just what she told me. She said, all right, friend. So she had an event. This is, I mean, God, and it's true. We went to Jamaica in January. She had a give bag. She always do give bags for back to
Okay.
school. And so we went out there for the back to school giveaway. And I'm the cheerleader for all my friends. If they doing whatever they doing, I'm going
Right.
support. You need me to pack
Right.
some backpacks, I'm packing the backpacks, right? And
Right.
so she gave away 3 tax classes. When she
Wow.
gave those 3 free tax classes away, everybody was excited about it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't. So this is how she got me. I'm gonna be so honest and straightforward. And she's on
Mhm.
this live video on Instagram.
Oh yes. Okay.
She said, "Let me show you something." I'm like, "Girl, because I need to buy me a house." She's like, "Let me show you something." So this here is her phone. She logged into her bank account and she showed it to me. I said, "Hold on, refresh that." I said, "Refresh that for me."
Like,
I
let
said,
me. Did I
"Oh,
see them
sign me up.
zeros? Do I? Did I see
Yeah,
zero? Did I see a bunch of zero? Okay.
sign me up, friend. I need you to sign me
Right.
up right now." I said, "I don't care what I need to do. I need you to sign me up." And she was like, "Okay, let's get it." So started doing taxes, and it just went up from there. Honestly, it just went up from there
Mhm.
because when it's for you, it is for
Mhm.
you. It's nobody
Mhm.
or nothing that can stop what's for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My first year, I started off with 10 to 15 clients. That was my faithfuls, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ended with capping out at 111 clients my first
Wow.
year.
Wow.
You see what
Wow.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like crazy to me because what? And I tell my students this all the time. Don't look at where you at. Do not look at who
Mhm.
you know. Don't look at
Yeah.
your following. Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
this many people. These people are not gonna come to me because I don't, this is my first year. This is that. Once
Mhm.
you get behind your brand and you market your brand, that's it.
Yeah.
You're your first marketer. Before you go out here paying Instagram, paying this content creator and that content creator, you stand behind your brand, right? So
Mhm.
I was learning about taxes and on Instagram making posts about taxes as if I knew,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Got you.
learning
Yeah.
about this business, but I am
Yeah.
still putting it out there because I need people to know, gee, when January get here, I don't want them to learn
Mhm.
about it in January.
Mhm.
So that
That's
was the
big.
biggest thing. And another thing that I pride myself on is treating people right. Because a
Mhm.
lot of my people came from me treating them right. And then they say, hey, cousin, sister, mama, brother, I need you to go see my friend because she know what she's talking about. She
Mhm.
treats people right and she stay up on top of the knowledge. So if I don't know something, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first thing I'll do is, friend, let me call you right back. Let me go get this information for you. I'm
Yeah.
going to find that information out. And I feel like a
Right.
lot of business owners fail at that. And I want to like hold a big class so they can know this because
Do it.
without your clients, you have nothing. So their top priority, when you go to Walmart and Sam's training and they say customers are number one, why?
Yes.
Because they need their customers to continue coming back. So you
Yeah.
have to give them that customer service experience, because if they come into you, they've been burnt before, right? So you
Hmm.
need them to know, okay, I need to go to G, because G gonna answer the phone for me. It's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Please don't call me 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, because I'm on Instagram. So I want y'all to know, don't do that, because I'm not
Right. You
answering.
better not call her at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Usually, but they know that I am going to give them the information and not just throw them to the side. So
Yeah.
I marketed myself, I branded myself, and the business just blew up from there.
And
Think about it. And I don't charge $100, right? Because my work speaks for itself. But
yeah.
if you charge $100 to 100 clients, how much is that?
Hmm.
I'm not good with math, so I'm not even gonna do that right
But
now.
don't you the math your favorite subject? That's my least favorite. I can't calculate off the top of. I think 100 times 100 is 100,000. It's listen. I got students watching. They probably like, Miss K, you don't know that. Listen, I'm not. I can ask my daughter. She's fast with it. But
Yeah,
somebody tell me what that is.
yeah. Somebody say it in the comments and help us out
Okay.
right there, because my mind not moving fast enough.
Mine doesn't either. And listen, something you said was real big. Was that you got to be the face of your business. So if anybody's watching this and you have a business or a brand, like you gotta you should be the first one to come to mind when people think about certain things. Like for an example, I just started back doing my CPR first aid. I stay active, but I just started back doing the classes. But anytime somebody needs a class, I'm being tagged every single week. Somebody sending me a message asking me, am I still doing classes? Such and such referred me to you, because when people think about CPR and first aid, they think about me because, first of all, they know I'm in the medical field and they know I'm a trainer. And
Right.
also because I will post about it a lot. So you could be posting just about certain things relating to what you do. So, like for an example, I'll use CPR and first aid training. You could be just posting some statistics on, how many people had a heart attack last year, or how many people were saved by CPR last year, or just any type of news articles. You could be sharing those facts or fun facts. Every time the heart beats, it pumps blood throughout the body. Just certain things that the average person may not know. And
Right.
one other key thing you said too was that you said you had 10 to 15 people that you were already doing. And a lot of times people trying to figure out what kind of business they want to start, think about stuff you already doing. Like
That's it.
you don't have to go out here and start something new. For many of you, y'all already doing it. So like one of the ladies that I've had on here before who helped with resumes, they were already doing it before they became official, the MA mentor. So she was already helping people before she officially became the MA mentor, before she branded herself as that. So, and I have a cousin who does taxes. And matter of fact, before I found out that you were a medical assistant, when I first saw your interview, I sent her that video with you and Monique. And I said, listen, you need to watch this. I said, you need to go get certified with the IRS and go, because my daughter is 18 and I know she's been doing it at least that long. People taxes, because she does her taxes and everybody around her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, there's no reason why you should not have a business. I'm not going to call her. I don't know if she's watching this. I told her she need to join live, but she does everybody taxes. And when you mentioned that, how easy it is to get certified. And then of course, and I'll let you speak on that. For anybody who is watching and they may say, okay, I want to get into taxes too, because maybe they already do taxes, or maybe they just want to get into it. Like you can tell them, if you can tell them like how, to go about it the right way.
Yeah. So the easiest thing to do is to take some type of continuing education course. So we
Mm-hmm.
all can go on TurboTax, log in, create an account,
Mm-hmm.
and sit there and enter our W-2 information. It's easier now. They even allow you to scan it and those
Mm-hmm.
numbers go into the system.
Yeah.
Well, it's so much more than that. You need to get the knowledge, right? So that's the first step I tell everybody. Find somewhere that's going to give you the knowledge to run this tax business the proper way, because the
Mm-hmm.
IRS changed the laws every year. Every year is
Yeah.
something different. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know, especially because of this political war that's going on. So many things are getting ready to change. And so some things are changing for the good and some are changing for the bad, right? And so we
Mhm.
need to be on top of that. So the best thing to do, step one, I say this in all my videos
Hope
about
y'all taking the notes if you want to do this.
find continuing education, because it's vital. And don't just go and get any kind. They have I can't say those people's names, but they have apps that try to get you to say,
Okay.
hey, sign up for this text class, and they give you like the same information you're going to learn when you go on their site, and then you go on their site, get something, be able to talk to a live person. Do that.
Okay.
The IRS has text courses. You can log on to the IRS and do the text courses, but I don't think they have a live person. We do
Okay.
offer text class. Our text class has been filled since Monique's interview. It's ridiculous. Like we
Wow.
are signing in, and now we're at the Wix end of it. And I was going to
Okay.
announce here on tonight and over on Instagram Live, we have opened back up the text class waiting list. So y'all, come on, get in there, get in there. I
What's
want to say, mhm,
your website? I'm gonna put it in the comments right now. Is it
yes,
at your website? Okay.
yes, it is. Put my website in a link. I mean, click my website and go ahead on and get on that waiting list, because y'all, this is a game changer. And if you start off, I make all my students set a goal. If you start off and say, I just want to do 5, that's 5 more than you had last tax season. If you
Mhm.
have 10 clients this tax season, my goal was, I told Kiana, I said, Kiana, if I get 20 people, I'm good. Remember, I had 10 to 15. So I
Right.
was being very small in my faith at the time.
Yes. Yep.
Right? I was like, if I get 20 people, I'm gonna be all right. I'll be good. I'll
Hmm.
be able to, you know. And Keanu's like, okay, he gonna double that. Well, he actually triple times double it, right? Um, so always set those goals and those expectations, not according to our will, but according to his will, because he will blow your mind every time.
And tell us how much you made like within those few months, because that's something I told my cousin too. Like, tell them how much you made.
So the first year it was 54,000, but the next
Hmm.
year I hit 6 figures. Yes, so I hit 108. Girl,
Listen,
won't he
just that
do it?
50, that 54 right there already had me
Oh
listen.
yeah.
And then the
Remember,
next
you're
year,
only doing it for 4 months. That's it.
for
So
four
people
months,
like
y'all.
me who career was getting them 43,000, I've made what I would have made in a year working my career job in
Hmm.
4 months,
Yeah,
plus some, right?
yeah,
So that right there, that first year, it was like, okay, yeah, you got to do something. You got to get this.
right.
You got to be on the ground.
Yes.
When whatever, I always believe, whatever comes smooth like that, I tell everybody that whatever comes to you and it comes easy and it comes sweet like that, that means it's according to His will, right? And so now I just have to do the work.
Listen, you are speaking. That's I'm gonna tell you, this channel, I'm gonna tell you. So my Thinking Like a Virtuous Woman channel, I had since 2016. It's not monetized, barely doing anything over there. I mean, I still do what I'm supposed to do, but I started this channel, and I started this channel in 2020, and I maybe left it alone. I maybe did like 3 videos and left it alone. And I came back and I'm like, wait a minute, this channel growing. Like, I was almost at 1,000 subscribers with like a few videos. And I was like, okay, let me come back over here. And I was literally, I mean, it had been a whole year. I posted a few videos and left it on for a whole year. A year later, came back, started posting videos, got monetized, and this channel has just been doing so well. I mean, and that's how I know that is what God wants me to do, because so many people have told me, like Miss K, like God literally put you in my life. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And like you said, it was easy. It just flowed, and that's how you know. You
how you
know.
know. That's right.
And and what would you say to people? So what if somebody's watching this and they're like, well, I don't want to do taxes. I want to do business, but that's not my thing. Like, what would you say to those people that are, wanting to start a business or a side hustle, and they want to get to that place of making good money on the side, but they're like, I don't want to do taxes. Can this advice apply to me?
Listen, yes, indeed. You don't
Hmm.
have to, it don't have to be that. So I would tell you, if you are stuck in what you want to do, if you're stuck in what you should pursue, just do it. Sit down, get you a pen and paper. It's just as easy as that. Get you a pen and paper and write out your vision. You have to write it out. You cannot keep all that in your head, because it's going to drive you crazy. So write it out. When God give you that plan, just as simple as that, that's what it is. And you just start making baby steps towards it. I tell nobody, listen, don't quit your job when as soon as you say that I'm going to go and open a business. Don't do that. Don't say
Yes.
G said do that, because no, don't do that. What you need to do is, if you are working as a tax preparer now, say you're working at one of those companies that prepares tax, and you just working, doing tax season with them. You get as much information as you can because they offer continuing education courses through their
Mm-hmm.
program. Get as much information as you can in the job that you're in and use that to your advantage to brand your business. Whatever it
Yeah.
is that you want to do. If you want to be a hairdresser, go start washing hair somewhere. Like whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, you have to start doing something because that's the
Mm-hmm.
only way that it will turn into right what you're envisioning. But
Yes.
just sit here saying I want to do it, but I'm nervous. And I understand, I get it. Because what I told
Yeah.
y'all, and I've always been a go-getter. So I get it. It's
Mm-hmm.
nervous. It's a
Mm-hmm.
nervousness that's in your spirit, but you pray against that thing as well. Pray against it.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
you can't dwell in me. You can't dwell in my spirit. You can't. I know what God promised me. You got to know what
Mm-hmm.
God promised you. Don't look at somebody else's situation because that's what I told a lot of people who I interviewed. Don't look at because you heard me say I made this amount of money, you want to
Mm-hmm.
do it. That's the only reason you want to do it. Don't do it for that. Don't
Yeah.
just do it for the money. You have to do it for
Yeah.
the love, whatever it is, because you're going to get the money and still be miserable. And then
Mm-hmm.
what? Go back up at the job? No, we don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
that. We want to
Right.
get our and our desires into what we want to do. And I don't care what it is. If you want to build airplanes and start an airplane building business, then you get your pen and paper and you start drawing that airplane.
Listen, do it. And like she said, what are some things that you're doing on your job right now already? The skills that you learn, and even for us medical assistants, ladies and gentlemen, like what are some of the things you're doing now? I always mention CPR and first aid because this is something that everybody around you needs. You know what I mean? Other
Right.
medical assistant, the nurses, the doctors, everybody needs CPR and first aid. So if you're thinking about some business ideas, start there. Phlebotomy, mobile phlebotomy, doing that on your own. There's so many different things that you can do. You could use your medical skills to do. And if you don't want to do anything medical related, again, take her advice and just think about other skills that you have that you can turn into a business, you know. I saw a question up here that I want to put on the screen from Miss Eva. Hey, Eva, she's a regular on the channel. Hey, Eva, she said, I know she is out the medical field, but does she still keep her certifications active?
So no, I do not. When I was in the medical field, I did keep my MA active. But when I did decide to retire from the medical field last year, I just didn't. They sent me an email in December and was like, "Hey, it's getting ready to expire." And I'm like, and that was like the hard. That was like, I'm really not doing this right.
Right,
But
right.
I did not. I didn't keep it active. That's
Yeah.
probably something I should have because it's free and you always, can go and but the way that God is taking me now, I feel like that was my season. That
Mhm,
the medical assistant, phlebotomy, and lab tech did so much for me, life changing, and it
mhm,
taught me so much, and it helped me so much. But that was my season, and you all go
mhm.
through different seasons, and so
Yeah.
that season of me is up now. So I'm
Mhm,
believing in God and whatever else He has to come for me with my whole finance journey because I
mhm.
just want to help people. Like I'm
Yeah.
not just doing this just to make money from it. Of course, money is good, right? But my
Mhm,
purpose on earth is to help people, and that's where I get the young woman with purpose from. If I can
mhm.
help one person a day, that's 365 people I have helped in a year, and I feel
That
like
is
my
so
skin is
good.
the same.
That is so good. If I could just help one person a day, that is three. Oh, that is so good. Oh my goodness, that
Man,
is so good. That wish my friend Tracy was watching. That seemed like something that would have made her run around the room.
yeah,
Um, that is so good. And it's okay. Like, like you said, everybody has their own season. There may be some people that get into medical assistant and do it to the day they leave this earth. But then for some people, it's a stepping stone. For some people, they have their season and it is perfectly okay.
that's right.
Um, this is Rona. Is that Rona? I think I pronounced it right. I don't necessarily help with resumes. Like I can look at it and give you some pointers, but if you look at the last live I did last week with Cheyenne G, I left her contact information and she actually does it for free starting out. So if you just email
Good.
her and that goes back to helping people. She has that heart. Like you mentioned, you want to help people and you got to have a love for it because the thing is, like you said, you want to get the money and be miserable, or you want to quit when you don't make the money. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If you just in it for the money, soon as you get into it and the money is not coming right away, you want to quit and you never want to get there. If I had given up on YouTube because that other channel wasn't doing well, I wouldn't be sitting with you right now. You know what I mean? We got to keep pushing. Somebody, I saw a comment on it was another, this is, I'm going left a little bit, but it
No,
was
no.
another it was another YouTube comment. It was just about growing on YouTube. And the person in the comments said, it was like, I feel like YouTube is the waste of time. I've had several channels and they none of them did well and all of that. So I just kind of gave him some encouragement, and I reminded him of that too. Like, you can't give up. You got to just kind of keep, if it's something you really want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the things I said to him too. If I had given up because the other channel wasn't doing well, I wouldn't have this channel.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. That kind of goes back to the beginning conversation when we said, um, I mean, if it came easy, how would we appreciate it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it became so easy. I posted for a year. I
Wow.
posted for 1 year and I had like, I don't even think it was like 900 subscribers for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day it just took off. And
Wow.
then Monique was like, "Hey, I need to get you. I need you to come
Yeah.
on." And then it just really took off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to. I tell my son that because my son has a YouTube channel, and I told him, I
Uh-huh.
said, "Listen, don't worry about where you are now
Yeah.
because the biggest YouTubers are where you started at, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have to take those crawling points. And then
Yes.
at some point it always I did I have a motivational channel too. It's just my name, Ganisha. And I said over
Okay.
there, I said everybody has to go through the stepping points in life. Babies don't come out eating food. They come out and they have to drink, milk. And then
Yes.
they have to crawl before they start walking. How do you think you're gonna fast forward past the part? You can't fast forward the progress. You gotta
Right.
go through the steps. And trust me, I know flesh pinch ouch,
Right.
we don't want to go through the process, but in order to get what God has destined for us, you have to go through the steps. You have
Yeah.
to, you can't skip it. You can't.
Yes, yes. Everybody that is successful in business right now, it all started with an idea. Everybody started right where you are right now. Even if you watching this and you like, I have nothing right now. Everybody that you're looking at that has something started right there where you are. So you're in a good place. Just make the decision.
That's it. I just want to say this because a lot of people think that what they see now is the good part. Like, oh, because she always doing it and she always, and this is always in it. Listen, because we don't post the bad part. We don't say this is what's happening right now. I'm about to lose it. I'm literally last week was probably I don't want to say that because I don't like speaking that, but
Yeah.
last week could have possibly been the worst I've been in the last couple of years. And it
Wow.
was like I wasn't worrying about nothing else.
Right. Yeah.
Financially stable still, okay, still.
Yeah.
But when you just feel bottled up,
Yeah.
we're human. We all
Yeah.
human. Business owners are human as well. We just don't post this stuff and we just don't
Yeah.
say, oh, because this is happening and that is happening. No, we don't. But I mean,
Mhm.
I want to bridge the gap between doing that, but it's okay. Everybody's human and everybody goes through that point. I
Yeah.
want to know how you're going to survive in business when you give up the first moment that it don't go the way that you want it to go. Because in business, there's going to be some days that some people don't buy nothing. In
Mhm.
business, there's going to be some days you don't get a client. In business, some days you won't be able to be this person 24/7.
Mhm.
And what do you
Mhm.
do in those days? You stay faithful. That's all I can do. Last week, that was all I was able to do. And I was on vacation last week. This was things that was happening into my, in my immediate family. And
Wow.
all I can do is stay faithful and say, God, I know that you're in control of this. I
Yeah.
can't allow
Yeah.
my flesh to get it no more. So I know that you're in control of whatever it is that's happening.
Yeah, wow, wow. I'm glad you pushed through, and you're right. You never know what somebody going through. And even I mean, listening to your story from the beginning, like you went through a lot. Like you said, you were born into poverty. You know what I mean? Born to teenage parents, and you went through a lot, and I think people forget that. I heard this quote that said they want your promised land, but they don't want the process. You know what I mean? They
That was
see
good.
what where you are now, they see what you have now, but do you know how I got here? And that's one of the reasons why I'm very transparent, because I know that I have students and I have people that I mentor and things like that, and I always want to be transparent about the fact that I don't have it all together. Like, I don't ever want you to think I have, like, I would rather I'm a mess if you
That's
to
it.
think, because then you're gonna put too much expectations on me, and
That's
I
right.
don't have the capacity.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
I'm very transparent about certain things, but you're right. Like you have no idea what people are going through. You have no idea what people have gone through unless they share it with you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I want to shout this person out right here, Brittany. She was on my virtual session last week. Congratulations. She passed her
Congratulations,
test.
Brittany.
So, Ganisha, I do these sessions. So, I do one-on-one sessions for people that's trying to take their test. And then I also, every now and then, I do group sessions as well. So, she was one of the ones that was on my group session.
Awesome.
And then Andrea says she passed her certification. Congratulations. I don't see any questions up here. Let me scroll down. Let me know, guys, if you have any. Oh, Val said, I'm sorry, Val. I missed this comment earlier. Oh, no, I did see this earlier. I relate with both of y'all stories. Wow. I hope you're still on here, Val. And I hope that this has been inspiring for you and anybody else that's watching that can relate to my story and can relate to Garanisha's story. I hope that our conversation has been inspiring for you guys because, you know, like we said before, it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter what you, not that it doesn't matter, you know what I mean, but it matters what you do with it.
That's
Because
right.
I can let what I went through, you know, keep me down. And honestly, you know, I have my moments sometimes. I had a moment last night. I was telling one of my friends I was missing my mother so bad. My mother died when I was 10.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
I had a moment last night, and I think I just needed a real good cry. And I'm 38, and my mother died when I was 10. But even all these years later, I still miss my
Yeah.
mother, and
Yeah.
I still like, I can listen to music, and I can just, you know, picture her like dancing in the living room on Saturday mornings, you know,
Oh,
cleaning up and all of that. And certain songs, I could literally smell her. Like it's so vivid. And so I had a moment last night, and I was just thinking, like, God, like only 10 years, like that's it, you know what I mean? And that's just, it's still unbelievable to me sometimes. And I'll never forget this one little girl. I was teaching children's church at my church, and this little girl, I would never forget, I shared that it was Mother's Day, right? And I shared my mom died when I was 10. The little girl said, well, at least you got 10 years with her. And I, girl,
come on. Come
she
on.
said that was, I mean, out of the mouth of babes. That was
Come
just
on.
so beautiful.
That's
But
it.
I just say that to say that it's not that. I'm sure you have your moments too, Garnisha, where
Oh,
things
yeah.
you've been through, you sit and reflect, like you mentioned your grandma. And let me just say, you need those people in your life. Like you said, your grandma, you was calling your grandma crying about the surgery. She said, girl, call me when you get out of surgery.
You hear me? Listen, that was her.
You,
I mean, that was her. And I still have those moments. Like
yes,
last week,
I'm
when I was
sure.
going through that, I heard her just so, I just heard her so clear in my spirit every time. And this picture back here, she bought me right before she passed away, right? And so, and
Wow.
I don't even know why she bought this because I'm not a bird fan or anything. But
Uh-huh.
that it seems like it looks at me right in the moment of when I'm going through something. And
Wow.
she bought this the date she went in the hospital on the first. We got this picture April 28th. And May 1st, she went into the hospital. But that every time I'm going through something and I'm laying, I'm sitting in my
Mhm.
office or I'm just, feeling full, I'll look at that picture and it's just like, because she used to call me Mo. And I just hear it so clearly, Mo, it's all right. You listen, you
Oh,
a soldier. She always used to tell me that you a soldier. You ain't got to worry about that because you a soldier.
right, right,
I
right. You
mean, I
need
hear it
that.
all the time.
Yes, you need that. Let me see if I see any other questions, ladies and gentlemen. Eva
Question.
said, thank you for answering my question. She says, you two are amazing. Thank you. GTG says, hey, I wanted to get a CPR certification. Do jobs care if you get online certifications rather than, it depends on the job. Some of them want you to be certified through American Heart or the American Red Cross. So it depends on the job. You know, there's a lot of certification organizations, but they're not accepted everywhere. So I
Right.
would just make sure first. And then before I let you go, Garanisha, do you have any just any last tips or gems that you want to leave with the people? Anything that's on your heart that you're led to share?
I always love the motivation. By people coming on, that's what I was looking at. But I
Okay.
always love to motivate any chance I get to motivate and uplift anybody. And I don't know what it is or who you are or what you're going through. Remember, your current situation is not your final destination. So if you put that first foot forward and just go, there's nobody that can stop you but you. So you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to listen. Those roadblocks are going to come. Hurdle over them. I love that game. You know that game that used to be where they run the little kid run on the railroad and then he'll smash into something, but he jumps right back on up. I love that game, and I have to get somebody to make me. Yes, I have to get
It's
somebody
like
to
a
make
video
me something
game.
like that. It's a video game, and so
Okay.
he's I cannot think of the name of it right now, but
Okay.
he's running and he'll literally just smack into something, but he'll
Mhm.
get back up and keep going. And that's what we got to do in life because it's
Yes.
going to come. And especially if you're a believer, I want to say that if
Yes.
you are a believer, you have to know that the trials and the attacks are going to come when a
Yeah.
blessing is in line. Because what the enemy wants to do is he wants to distract you from what God got coming, right? And so if he could take your attention off it and make you start screaming and hollering, cursing, if he can make you quit that job or he can make you stop focusing upon that business, that's what he's going to do because he sees what God has in store. So when those
Listen.
moments come, I just want to encourage you to praise your way through it and
Yeah.
keep going because your
Yes.
current situation is not your final destination.
Listen, I love that. And Ganisha, when I tell you, I'm just so happy that you came on here. I told you, as soon as I saw that interview, I followed you. When I found out you were a medical assistant, I said, I gotta have her on here. And it's so crazy how we are a lot alike because our past, and it was a couple of other things you said as well. What it was something else you said. Dang it, because I was gonna point it out when you said it was something else you said. It wasn't the math thing, definitely, because math is my least favorite. That's my daughter's favorite. It was something else you said that is just like me. But I'm just glad that you were here. And you know what's so funny? When you scheduled, so when I sent you the link to schedule, I didn't know that was you. So I had a few people until you sent me your picture because I had sent a few people. So I've had a few people on live the last couple of weeks, and I also got some people coming up. And
Okay.
so I sent the link to you and a few other people. So I had different people, like sending me their stuff. And when I saw you schedule, it never crossed my mind that that was you. And so when you sent me that picture for the flyer, I was like, oh, that's her. I was like, oh, that's her. For
Aw.
any for anybody that's just joining, the reason why I'm so excited is because I literally came across Ganisha on YouTube. So you guys know the people that I had before, they are in my group, so I had them on. But Ganisha, I literally found her on YouTube. So that's why I was just so excited. I was so touched by your story. And then to find out that you have the same background, I just was like, I gotta get her on here. And I know that was all God because
That's
I
it.
mean, you could have not saw my comment. You could have not responded because I could have been anybody. Because as your platform grows, you just get messages from all kind of people. And
Yeah.
I was like, I just hope that she sees that I'm a real person, first of all, and that I'm genuine and I'm not just one of these because I get all kinds of emails and messages and stuff. And so I'm like, I just hope that she sees me. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
believe that God allowed you to see my message and see
All
me.
the
You know what I
time. I
mean?
tell him
So,
that all the time. Just connect me
yeah.
to who you want me to be connected to. And
Yeah.
you have to put me in those groups because I love this
Okay,
uplifting thing.
I will. I definitely will. I'll put you. So it's called the Medical Assistant Lounge, and that's what I call these segments. So we're chatting in the Medical Assistant Lounge because you know how you're in the lounge at work. The lunch is usually just the lunch lounge. It's not the medical assistant. It's the lunch lounge. But this is our lounge for even though you're not in the field anymore. You are still a medical assistant at heart. That's where you got your start, and so you are definitely welcome to the Medical Assistant Lounge anytime.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And
Thank you so much, Miss K.
you're welcome. And make sure you guys, for anybody who wants to get in contact with Ganisha, first I'm going to put her site back up on the screen. So if any of you are interested in tax classes, you can go ahead and go to her website and get on the wait list. And also you can follow her on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube, G with the gems. And I did link all of those in the description box. So you can go to the description box and find it, or you can simply just search G with the gems on all of those platforms. And I don't see any more questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end this. Make sure you guys oh, I wanted to share this too, my necklace again. Make sure you guys, if any of you guys are interested, can I where I'm at?
So
Where the camera? Where the
cute.
camera?
Yes.
So you can get your name on this. So
I
this is
love that.
thank you. Thank you. It's on my site. So if any of you guys are interested, I will link that as well. As a matter of fact, let me throw that in there real quick while I'm still talking. And I do see a couple other comments. Rashonda says, I love your energy. It's so beautiful and genuine. Oh, Montasha, I hope I said your name right, Tasha. She says, thank you, ladies, for both of your testimonies. Um, Dora says, please, can you join me? Join you. Let me join you where, Dora? Where you trying? Where you want to
going?
Are you trying to come on screen, Dora? Let me find out. If you're trying to come on screen. Oh, I did this once before. And if Ganisha, at any point you gotta go, because I can ramble.
No.
You gotta go at any point, let me know. But guys, one thing I do want to do, I did it once before, but if any of you guys are ever interested, like when I'm live, and if you ever have a question and you want to come on live and ask, feel free to let me know. I will send the link to come on here and join, and you can just join right from. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the chat if anybody, and you don't have to, but if anybody would like to come on, join, I'll put that in the comment section as well. If anybody wants to come on and ask a question or make a comment, you don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. But I did that before, and that's because I just wanted to have that option available for anybody that, just want to come on and ask a question live. Val says, God bless y'all. God bless you
God
too.
bless you too.
Thank you for watching. You heard me. What part of was she from New Orleans too? I know she said
Yes,
Louisiana.
she from New Orleans.
You heard me. Val, come on, Val, and let me hear how you sound. Because I love that Louisiana. Let me tell you something. Every time you see a post and they say, what is your favorite accent? New Orleans by far. You see some people say like New York and stuff like that.
I love New York. I want to be from New York so bad.
But that's what's funny. New York and New Orleans got the best accents. Everybody was listening. They say, I'm from DC. They say Baltimore is the worst.
I love Baltimore. Listen, I love when y'all say that. Oh my God, I was about to say. I love Baltimore. I love Baltimore.
They say, so many people say that is the worst accent. Oh, Doris says, I want to join the line is MA. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me see. In my externship. Are you from New Jersey? Okay, Dora from New Jersey. You currently doing your externship? Okay, so I think you're saying, do you want to join my group on Facebook? I'll put that in the chat as well. It's called the Medical Assistant Lounge. I'll put that on here. It's called the Medical Assistant Lounge on Facebook, Dora. Just make sure you answer the membership questions so you can get right in. Anybody have any questions or anything else before I let y'all go? Still about 17 people watching. So just let me know if you guys have any questions or anything, any comments or anything. Because I can talk. I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind.
Asking me something. I'm like, I'm coming.
Say that again.
I said my son is at the door asking me something. I'm like,
oh yeah, I know. Listen, and don't it seem like every time you're doing something, that's when they want you?
Yes.
You ain't want me not one time until I started doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. Well, I don't see any more questions or anything. I don't want to hold y'all on here just because I see y'all still watching. Y'all ain't left yet. That's why I'm still on here. Y'all ain't left yet. All right, guys. So, Ganisha, thank you again for coming on here. This will not be the last time because I may need you on the other channel, the Thinking Like a Virtuous Woman, because I love that you are a believer as well. That's one of the things that attracted you to me. Mm-hmm. So I definitely want to have you over there as well. I haven't done much over there in a while. I still every now and then post a video over there, but I know I got to get back into the swing of things over there. So if you're open to it, doing it over there as well.
Yes.
No problem, Dora. No problem. You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me let y'all go. Y'all have a good night. Let me go ahead and end this.
All right.
Bye. All righty.